There was a time when, of course, we were spending a lot of our days down in Puerto Rico after the hurricanes wreaked devastation down there, U.S. Virgin Islands, and other places. There was a trip that we made down there in August of 2018, and I remember before we went, the president said something, and your viewers are going to be somewhat familiar with this. The president's talked before about wanting to purchase Greenland, but one time before we went down, he told us not only did he want to purchase Greenland, he actually said he wanted to see if we could sell Puerto Rico. Could we swap Puerto Rico for Greenland? Because in his words, Puerto Rico was dirty and the people were poor. These are Americans, Hallie. And we don't talk about our fellow Americans that way. And the fact that the President of the United States wanted to take a U.S. territory of Americans and swap it for a foreign country is beyond galling. But this was a real thing. This is the President. This is the man who sits behind the Resolute desk. And these are the thoughts he has when Americans are in danger and recovering. I did not take it as a joke. And on multiple occasions, the president expressed interest in buying Greenland. And I'll go even further about Puerto Rico. The president expressed deep animus towards the Puerto Rican people behind the scenes. These are people who were recovering from the worst disaster of their lifetimes. He is their president. He should be standing by them, not trying to sell them off to a foreign country.
So that's an ex-Trump administration official who is now voting for Biden, which is MSNBC's favorite thing in the world. It's like crack to them. They can't get enough of these never-Trump Republicans, which in reality represent an incredibly small fraction of the voting demographics. But in Washington, they are just the new stars. And that's why John Bolton can get a book deal, even though he's a war criminal, and it go to the top of the New York Times bestseller list. Anyway, that's a long-winded way of saying, despite all of that, despite the fact that I take what this opportunist, that's better, says with a grain of salt, I do believe him. I do believe him here, because this rings completely true to something Trump would say. It's racist because he, as was said there, thinks that Puerto Ricans are dirty and poor, which is disgusting, and really paints a picture for how terrible his response was to the hurricane and all of the pain inflicted on Puerto Rican people, how little he did for them. When you're racist and don't view them as equal to white people, that kind of colors it. We already knew that. But it goes back to that ridiculous story from last year. He really was seriously considering wanting to buy Greenland. Like, buy a property like he does with Trump golf courses, and then puts his golf course there or puts his hotel there. That's how he sees geopolitics. That's how simplistic this dude is. President Trump on Sunday confirmed that his administration has discussed buying Greenland from Denmark. This is from 2019, comparing the idea to a large real estate deal and suggesting the island would be of strategic value to the United States. Speaking to reporters, the president confirmed reports that first appeared on Thursday in the Wall Street Journal that he had asked administration officials to look into the possibility of purchasing the self-governing Danish territory. It's just something we've talked about, he said. Denmark essentially owns it. We're very good allies with Denmark. We've protected Denmark like we protect large portions of the world, so the concept came up. Strategically, it's interesting, and we'd be interested. We'll talk to them in a little bit, the president said. He added, it's not number one on the burner, I can tell you that. No, it's cool. We have David Johnson, and we'll just trade him for DeAndre Hopkins. Wait, hold on. There's all these bizarre elements of colonialism here, right? How he views Puerto Rico as basically a bargaining chip, not a self-governing body that's part of the United States. They are Americans who have families and human beings and lives and a culture, and they love each other. And he just wants to upgrade to the whiter version because they're a territory too. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. It's like the NBA trade deadlines, the NFL. And then all of the colonialistic and racist implications there too. So now we already had the absurd, he wants to purchase Greenland story, and then another layer on top of it, that he actually wanted to swap them. He wanted to do a little exchange. Nuts.